I recently made a video talking about all my issues with Creatures of Sonaria, but I didn't want to just sit here and be negative about the game without giving it solutions to its problems, so today I'm going to give my personal opinion on how to fix this dumpster fire. For some context, I played this game from beta until 2022 and just completely stopped playing until I checked on the game in this video, and I really hate to see what it's become, even though I watched it slowly gravitate towards this fate anyway. I don't want it to be just another crappy Roblox game. So first I wanted to talk about the map. In my last video, I mentioned the Boreal Warden didn't feel as big as it once did, and I got some comments saying that it was probably because of the map. And then I realized, wow, I don't like the Recode map at all. It was one of the reasons I stopped playing to begin with. So yes, the map definitely feels small. It's like there's no space for large creatures, they just make any space crowded. I don't know if that was the case before, but it didn't feel like it to me. In simpler words, I think they should make the map bigger, or at least give bigger spaces for creatures to be. I don't frickin' know. Like, look at that. It's so crowded with just 3 creatures here. And we're supposed to have packs and everything. Oh, it's attacking me. Also, I don't know if there's any features I just don't know about, but I feel like the map isn't utilized for different playstyles. We pretty much only have the excuse of an aquatic area to shake up gameplay. I would like to see the aquatic area go down deeper. I feel like if there's 3 creatures down here, it would be so crowded. Even more crowded than on land. You barely see anyone playing as a fully aquatic player in this, and that's because it's just boring. Yeah. The only way aquatic creatures get to have fun is if they go find the creatures on the surface and drag them down into the water. Honestly, it can be annoying if it happens to you, but I think it shakes up the game for both aquatic and land, because you can't see into the water very well. I actually like that. I think that the devs should lean more into the I can see you but you can't see me aspect of it being an aquatic creature, because then that makes getting water more dangerous for land creatures, which honestly isn't a bad thing. This is supposed to be a survival game, and then the aquatic creatures get to actually do something. Maybe some more ways to know where creatures are around the map when you're specifically aquatic. Look at this guy. Look, he's having the most fun he's ever had by attacking me. Also, I need to get out of here. I'm not losing this creature. Ah! Oh my god! For the land, I like the different biomes they have going on currently, but it feels like they just exist for looks. Why not give different areas some different advantages? I would like to see a forest so thick that a flyer can't soar through it in the sky. Or maybe the cold areas constantly give the cold effects to creatures that aren't immune to it. Maybe you could run out of thirst faster in the hotter areas. I just feel extremely bored and limited when I play as a land creature. I think the land should complement creatures for land. Maybe offering some better movements. Maybe giving land creatures the ability to jump. Maybe fixing the movement bugs we have now. Currently, I don't like playing as a land creature. I feel like an earth pony next to Pegasus and unicorns and alicorns. Something I do like the idea of is the sky islands. I think there should be more, and they should be the advantage of the flyers. Maybe there's more even bigger ones scattered across the map. And the flyers could use the high winds as a speed boost, so they can actually experience flying faster. I still think there should be a punishment for flyers staying up there. It shouldn't be like a flyer camping spot. Maybe they would get no migration region boost, or no naturally spawning food, or even a negative status effect for being up here for too long. But I really like the idea of there being many sky islands around. I know there's some, but maybe not enough. This game does not deserve to be associated with any sort of survival game. In its current state, the only thing to survive is the person who spent more time perfecting their creature choice than you, plushies, mutations, and all. I find it quite laughable that this game even claims to be a survival game when there are naturally spawning food sources for both herbivores and carnivores. In my opinion, carnivores should always have to work for their food. To me, that's the challenge, appeal, and reward for actually having work to grow your creature, instead of standing AFK next to a naturally spawning piece of fresh meat. For lower tier carnivores, there could even be fish to catch in the water, allowing for far more engaging hunting experience for both the player and the predator. As for herbivores, I actually agree with their food sources being naturally spawning, of course. But I don't think it should be an easy ticket to infinite food. I think it should be far more engaging than just finding a flower bush and waiting for an animation to play until your tummy is all full. The food should be more spread out and limited, maybe even like you have to go climb or reach a tree to go get some fruit. Or maybe the most amount of food spawns in the current migration region. Also, each creature should only be able to kill a creature of the same or lower tier as them. I haven't seen this being the case sometimes. Like right now, this person is attacking this big guy. No tiny little ankle biter should have any leverage over a tier 5. And I would like to see creatures of Sonaria add new attacks to make PvP more than just clicking and spamming breath. So far, I would say that they're on the right path for this, such as longer creatures being able to attack with their mouth and tail. I really think they should lean more into that style of combat with more abilities. Something where you have to learn your creature's capability and attack so that you, the player, get to decide whenever to use a certain attack. I just want to feel that for a larger creature to be fully grown, the gameplay shouldn't just be sitting around waiting for a 2-hour timer to tick down, but instead fighting for your food and survival. Look at this little guy! He's sitting next to me! That's so cute! Anyway. When I tried playing as a glider for the first time in years, I felt as if I were a Victorian child experiencing the internet for the first time. Because someone please explain to me why gliders can just zip across the map. What's the point in being a flyer? It's been a personal gripe of mine that flyers barely move in the sky at all. There's almost no point in playing as any tier 5 with wings because they barely move. You might as well just walk. Meanwhile, gliders, simply because they do not flap their wings, get to travel insanely fast. Absolutely not. I will not have that. I used to be a strict flyer main because I absolutely love dragons and all the flying animations this game does. But I've never been able to fully enjoy it because the creatures go so slow. Look at this. I'm literally standing still right now. So, in short, give flyers speed. Or at least the ability to glide as fast as gliders. Because this is genuinely ridiculous. Back in my day, Creatures of Sonaria only had a few events. Notably the Winter and Valentine's and Halloween events. Those all make sense. Present day Sonaria, however, has gotten so greedy with keeping its collector players glued to the game. There was immediately this random-ass firework event straight after the Land, Sea, Sky event, and then for good measure the Summer Paradise event. If you're trying to grind for any new creature they add in every event, that just kinda makes this game a whole part-time job. This was also one of the reasons I quit playing. I used to want every creature. I used to be a happy little worker bee doing the same repetitive task every single event in hopes of one day having every creature. You can only do that so many times until you realize there is no end. The solution? Tone down the events! Goddamn! Or at the very least, stop adding new limited creatures every event. Some of us don't play Roblox all day. Speaking of creature collection, why are there so many Robux creatures? I was told they're adding one every month now? Why? I understand the wonderful artists behind this game deserve to be paid, but is this the way to do it? Sure, you can trade for Robux creatures and you never actually have to technically even buy the creatures. But this game is very aware that its fan base is mostly made up of hungry creature collectors. That's why there's a trade realm and that's why they add new creatures all the time. So to me, it's very predatory to ask that fanbase for over $200 to get every creature. Do the developers need money that requires preying on their collector fanbase? Because I would rather spend that money buying real tangible merchandise of the creatures they already made. Genuinely, the merch they made so far actually looks good and I would actually get it. I always thought it would be cool to actually have some plushies from Creatures of Sonaria. Now they're actually making some. I would love to see the developers continue to make new merch instead of preying on their fanbase with way too many creatures that cost Robux to get. And they need to stop selling bundles that contain creatures you can get for free without disclosing their creatures you can get for free. That is just completely oblivious to your new fanbase. Completely just stealing their bank accounts. I think that they should trash the aquatic realm. Each realm should balance well for each creature type instead of slapping on some crappy aquatic realm band-aid. I personally believe that the game would benefit from focusing on 3 different types of realms. We already have 2, the basic realm and the hardcore realm. I really like how the devs are handling the hardcore realm so far. I would really like to see it this place of just death, doom, and despair for KOSers to get their killing out of their system. And then a normal realm could be for normal players. But then I think there should also be a completely peaceful realm, allowing for players who just like hanging out and role-playing to just have a space to go do that. So they can no longer cry about being killed or doing the annoying side quests of eating food or drinking water. There wouldn't have to be any gain from being in there. Like, you can't grow your creatures there, or you can't earn any mush there. That would be fine. It would just be a place for people who just want to hang out as their creatures, because a lot of people just like showing off the way their creatures look and talking to people. And then you can tell the players who don't like being killed to go get their butt into that realm, because they aren't ready for a survival game yet. At the end